come. It's great to see you here. It's Finland's 100th anniversary this week. In fact, it's on Wednesday.
Короче, добро пожаловать, что вы приехали сюда. Мы очень рады видеть вас здесь. И на этой неделе важное событие для Финляндии — столетие независимости.
And there's a certain symbolic value also with the Russian army team from St. Petersburg playing with the Finnish team here in Helsinki, just close to the railway station.
И это что-то особенное, когда российская армейская команда из Санкт-Петербурга играет матч с финской командой рядом с вокзалом.
And especially because the rails and the rail connection, train connection from Helsinki to St. Petersburg is only 3.5 hours, and historically also the trains have transported people and goods between the cities, and St. Petersburg, in fact, until 1917 was the capital of Grand Duchy of Finland, and because Finland belonged to the Russian Empire, so there's a kind of a funny aspect that we shouldn't take too seriously, but still historically it's an issue, and the Finns as well as the Russians, I think that they appreciate the fact that the historical background is as it is.
Ну, во-первых, расстояние между Санкт-Петербургом и Хельсинки 3,5 часа на поезде, и регулярно ездили люди, перевозились товары. Еще особенный момент, что Санкт-Петербург до 1917 года был столицей княжества, Великого княжества Финского, и был частью Российской империи, и здесь особенная подоплека в сегодняшнем матче.
And visiting St. Petersburg for us Finns, because architecturally also there's a lot of resemblance between Helsinki and St. Petersburg. St. Pete is of course larger town, but the architecture is pretty similar, and a lot of the construction work, engineering work during the Russian Empire times in St. Petersburg area especially was done by Finns.
И есть еще много общего в плане архитектуры. Понятно, что Санкт-Петербург город побольше, но в Хельсинки есть что-то схожее с Санкт-Петербургом, и в плане инженерной мысли финские инженеры что-то строили, что-то в России.
And that's one of the reasons why we are so happy. Of course, the sports side is really important. That Sky's really interesting team in Finland. And that's really important, but on the other hand, it's really important to know your roots and have a kind of a historical perspective in what we are doing. Whatever the times are, there are sometimes worse times, and then we are in having like some political problems, but usually it's been really like the cooperation has been really flourishing between the countries. And it's great to have the best team of KHL and a team that our fans and the Finns like love to hate. It's a local opponent, and it's pretty clear when you see the fan reaction to the star players like Kovalchuk that we really love to hate him, and that's a very good flavor to the sports.
Ну, во-первых, СКА один из самых таких соперников для фанатов Йокерита, которые не любят ненавидеть. И вы сегодня увидите, как они будут как-то любя ненавидеть Ковальчука и других звезд СКА.
Это особый интерес и матч,
ну, вот и да.
напряженность.
But it's also a sign of respect. So you wouldn't hate anybody that you wouldn't respect basically in the sports circles especially. So the top players are hated because they are so good, of course, and it makes our life a lot more difficult but we respect, and as far as the sports aspect is concerned, there's a lot of respect between the teams, and I think that there is a lot of respect also, like culturally, and a lot of friendship. But at the same time, it's a kind of a symbolic effort that we are now having this unbelievable game during the 100th anniversary. Yokkerit turning 50 this season. We have a celebration season this season, and KHL turning 10. So it's like Finland 100, Yokkerit 50, KHL 10, and a great reason to celebrate in the good spirit of sports.
Если ты кого-то ненавидишь, то значит ты выражаешь уважение, есть уважение между обеими командами и уважение к этим звездам, которые большие мастера. Их ненавидят как раз потому, что они так хороши. И важно, что эта игра она не только не связана со столетием независимости Финляндии, но также 50-летием Йокерита и 10-летием КХЛ.
And symbolically also, when you enter the area, this is a good picture of the area. It really looks great. It's a bit muddy because it's been so wet, but you will see the symbols. You will see the flags flied, and you will see the KHL flag, but of course Russian and Finnish flags there, and you will see a lot of people wearing Yokkerit colors, and you will see a lot of people wearing SKA colors. There will be our forecast is that we are going to have about 1,000 Russian guests, and that's what is also bringing international flavor to the game. It's never been seen before. The outdoor game hasn't ever been seen before in KHL, and now when both of the teams, especially SKA but also Yokkerit, has done tremendously well during the first half of the season, we will be able to see also great hockey with like supporters of both of the teams, not only fans but supporters. There's the large Russian minority living in the Helsinki area, and we really expect to see also Russian SKA supporters there coming from Helsinki region. Our estimation is that there is about 25,000 Russian-speaking people only in the greater Helsinki area at the moment.
Ну, здесь вы можете увидеть, как будет выглядеть сама арена, где будут флаги КХЛ, России и Финляндии. Мы ожидаем, что на трибунах будет около 1000 болельщиков СКА, и будет такая очень много смешанная среда, что будет не только болельщики Йокерита, и все будут в свитерах своей команды. И здесь будут не только просто болельщики СКА, которые приедут там из Санкт-Петербурга, но и просто русские, которые живут здесь, в Хельсинки. По нашим данным, здесь живет около 25 тысяч.
And the label here in the corner of the advertisement is official. It's a kind of a governmental logo type. So we are part of the official 100th celebration for the independence. So we also got the governmental backup for this game, and this is really important also from image perspective as far as the Russian-Finnish relations are concerned. That we were able to have the honor to become part of the official celebration of the weekend. That was something also for us. And the Helsinki City Municipal Office, the area where we are playing is extremely expensive to rent, and we wouldn't ever have the chance, couldn't ever have budgeted enough means to play a game there if we would have paid the regular rent. So Helsinki City also is sponsoring it heavily, because it's not only one day event, it's whole month that we have to reserve the land lot, and we have to safeguard it and do the safety precautions and then build the whole arena.
Здесь вы можете уйти в официальный логотип празднования столетия независимости Финляндии, и наш матч является его, по сути, официальной частью. И это значит, что у нас есть поддержка правительства. Земля вот в Касиньеме парке, она очень дорогая, и чтобы арендовать ее на месяц, это все строительство арены, воздвижение конструкции, это будет потрачено очень много денег, но и здесь правительство города пошло нам навстречу и внесло свой большой вклад в финансирование проекта.
And we did the whole thing together. You can see that there is the emblem of Finland 100th anniversary. This is the kind of brand sign for Helsinki city. And then we are cooperating very closely with the local rival, ex-rival, that we used to play in the local league against Helsinki IFK. And we've had some problems with the local league since we hopped into KHL. People were really disappointed because we were the public magnet for the local league as well as a team. And then we left the local league and left basically the local rival without a team that they would love to hate. So we like left them alone, and it's been pretty cold. The relations haven't been so good since we left the local league 4 years ago. But now with this project we are also able to improve our relations to the Finnish like hockey circles and to the Finnish Liga.
Вот в рамках вот Helsinki Ice Challenge будет сыгран еще матч Хивка с Кärpitом, и Хивка это был наш давний такой заклятый враг, таким, каким сейчас, по сути, становится СКА. И очень много было недовольства со стороны финской лиги о том, что мы лишили лигу такого противостояния, как такого дерби Йокерит-Хивк. И для нас важно, что мы являемся сейчас частью вот этого проекта, потому что это дает, притягивает внимание и улучшает наши отношения именно с финскими хоккейными кругами, что мы все равно являемся частью как бы общего хоккея.
So we share all the costs. Basically, this is a joint venture together with, of course, there are many other partnerships there as well, but we are having this as a kind of a joint venture together with the local IFK, and we are sharing the costs 50-50 basically. We have a bit more expenses, but we have, on the other hand, more public attention, and I'm pretty sure that we are going to have larger audience. But as far as the construction costs and establishing costs are concerned, we are sharing them together with the local Liga team, and that enables us to arrange this. If we didn't have the local team here, it would have been much too expensive to play only one game. Now instead we have like 2 games within 1 week frame.
Мы понимаем, что наш матч наверняка соберет больше внимания, там, интереса, чем игра Хивка с Кärpitом, но мы, как бы, наше совместное дело с Хивками, мы делим все расходы 50 на 50.
We have also arranged, because we have a lot of important guests from KHL and SKA, we've arranged, I think, really good surroundings and good service level also for the established guests from Russia, and we've also tried to cater journalists as well as we can, but it's pretty challenging, I have to admit, because it's outdoor game, and the data systems, and we've been struggling with the electricity and with the data links and with cabling and everything in the wet conditions. So I already apologize if everything doesn't work like they do in Hollywood. So it might be, it's a bit provisory. We were able to have a WLAN link this morning, VLAN link in the area, and we're just hoping to see it work. We don't yet know. There will be like plugs and firewire, but we tried also to embed the area with the data transfer systems, but it's been a bit difficult.
Ну, во-первых, мы ожидаем много гостей, как именно из КХЛ и СК, вот именно VIP-персон. Сразу извиняюсь перед журналистами, что если будут проблемы с коммуникациями, потому что в данной ситуации тяжело подвести нормальные коммуникационные системы, и поэтому будут шнуры. И не очень быстро будет интернет возможно.
Because it's open area and it's full of strategic points and a lot of communications because of the railway. The railway systems and the information technology that they are needing doesn't allow any like disturbances, so we have to be really careful about that because they are basically driving the trains from there and arranging the traffic. And then there is the National Theatre really close by, and then there is the Parliamentary House and two biggest media houses just across the rails. So there is a lot to think about strategically and logistically, especially in this area. If it would have been like in the field somewhere outside of Helsinki, it would have been much easier. But because we are so central at the moment, then it made it a bit difficult. Challenging and fun, but we just hope to see everything work today. But so don't shoot me. If something is going wrong, we try to help you as much as we can and see that you have the service, as good service as possible, because we really appreciate that we're having international guests and international media here. We are also having a lot of Chinese people there.
Проблему создает то, что вот где Кохонена парк находится, там рядом железная дорога, где постоянно курсируют поезда, которые на чье движение необходимо тратить электроэнергию. Рядом здание парламента, два крупных здания медиакомпании, также театр. Поэтому не стреляйте в меня, если что-то пойдет не так сегодня.
And not only Chinese, we are going to have also a lot of international guests. I don't know if you are aware that there has been the startup scene slush going on in Helsinki on Thursday and Friday. So there are about 20,000 startup people from all over the world in Helsinki at the moment. This is the third day of slush. It's a startup. It's also, I think it's also in Russia.
It's kind of startup conference? Or?
Yeah, it's a big startup conference that they are arranging in Skolkovo in Russia at the moment as well, and in Beijing. So there is a lot of international flavor during these weeks and during these days in Finland as well. So we hope to see a lot of journalists from other countries as well. And we definitely know that there will be Chinese there because they are preparing for the Winter Olympics, and I just met one of the groups that were planning to arrange an outdoor game in Beijing, and they are studying the opportunities and how to do it in a proper way. I hope we are a good example. This is our first time, so we don't know yet if it's a bullseye or if there will be problems.
We can say construction by railways to Beijing.
Maybe not.
Russia.
Yeah, that's right. To come the Baikal-Amur tracks straight from Moscow to Beijing. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, many a good tourist attraction.
Ну, сейчас здесь много гостей из китайской делегации, которые готовятся к Олимпиаде 2022 и изучают опыт проведения матчей на открытом воздухе. Также сейчас здесь проходит стартап-конференция, где около 20-25 тысяч человек здесь. Поэтому сейчас в Хельсинки очень много людей разных национальностей.
The teams are ready at the moment. I think Ska was Roman was Ska on the. Hello, how are you? Was Ska already on ice today?
Yes, this morning they had morning skating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they were this morning on the ice.
How was it?
I haven't been there, but I had a lot of pictures. So yeah, they trained. They were wearing, masks, and it was. I think.
How many people? What, 6 people live there?
No, I just can have a picture. I think at least 15. Okay.
Were they happy about the ice
I don't know.
If
conditions?
you ask the head coach, he's always not happy with everything.
Yeah.
So it's not the best way to ask him, maybe players, but somebody else, not him.
But I think Roman Borisovich was happy as he scored the winning goal yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So it's the most important thing.
No, the GM CEO Tochiski was at least happy. There were some things, some details with the ice that had to be taken care of. So they were pretty happy.
He was also playing yesterday.
Yeah. The figures we have a bit less or close to 17,000 tickets out. So the capacity is 18,300 gross, including you guys and journalists and everything. So 18,300 was the maximum. But the good thing is that it's been standardized for 20,000. So the stands should take the amount of people also with the thick jackets on, with the winter clothing. It's not about weight, but it's about space. So we had to count a bit extra, not for the fat Finnish people, but because of the winter overcoats. So it's a German construction, and I don't think that the average weight of Finnish spectators is much higher than with the Germans, at least. But there will be a lot of space anyhow, although it will be full propped. I hope it will be selling out, but 17,000 approximately out at the moment, and we are pretty happy with that already.
Мы продали уже почти 17 тысяч билетов, вся арена вмещает около 18 тысяч, но вообще она рассчитана, в принципе, на 20 тысяч зрителей. Но все зависит, конечно, от габаритов людей, и зима, нужно понимать, пуховики, они как бы объемные. И делали эту арену немцы, и все-таки покрупнее, наверное, чем финны.
And other figures, one side of a stand is weighing about 250 tons. So it's like 500 tons of metal tubing. It's basically construction scaffolding that's just used to build stands. So it's pretty like standard structures, but just used for building stands.
Одна трибуна весит в общей конструкции 250 тонн, здесь суммарно можно сказать, что 500 тонн.
Roman!
It's good.
Can you find me yesterday's paper? Can you find me yesterday's Helsingin Sanomat with the statistics about the construction volumes? I just thought that it might be interesting.
I'll check if we have it in the lobby.
You have it? Okay, check it out. Because we had a big coverage of the event yesterday in the main paper, depicting the area and also like giving out the details about the construction. It was pretty interesting. I don't know if it could be material also for your reporting, because that's quite interesting.
In Helsinki Sanomat.
Helsingin Sanomat, yes. What else? I'm open for your questions if you have any.
Спросил, какие главные плюсы и минусы для Йокерита, то, что выступает не в финской лиге, а в КХЛ. Уже прошло несколько лет, 50 лет клубу. Главные плюсы и минусы. Потому что там раньше было недовольство болельщиков, сейчас все это ушло или нет? Вот интересно.
Could you name some positive and negative things about joining Yokeri KHL. Like in the first year, it was like a lot of some problems with fans and some banners. Like
we have the like there are two basic negative things. It's expensive and it's really travel intensive. Maybe to name third, but it doesn't have anything to do with KHL as such, or partially it has with the logistics, but maybe to name the third one is that it's really difficult to arrange this game schedule.
I don't know what you're looking for, but there are articles for.
No, but there was a big spread about the area in the yesterday's papers, but never mind.
I don't have somebody
Okay, we'll find it, but it will be found also in the Helsingin Sanomat homepages. I thought that it can be translated also for you as a material, but let's talk about it later. So expenses, heavy expenses. The player budgets are really high compared to the Finnish league, and then the travel intensity is another one, and maybe third that has something to do with the logistics is that the game schedule, that we have like 7 games home.
8.
8 games home streak, so it's eating up the public or the attraction value of single games, especially now when we have this special occasion. But maybe these 3 things are on the negative side.
Из негативного могу сказать, что на самом деле это очень дорого, потому что зарплаты игроков по сравнению с финской лигой они отличаются заметно. Второй момент — это все поездки, передвижения по полету в Россию. И третий — это календарь, потому что у нас сейчас 8-я игра подряд домашняя. И на самом деле тяжело поддерживать интерес аудитории. Ну, здесь повезло, что такой матч.
А позитивы?
And the positive side is first and foremost that we were able to increase our home game audience average by almost 20% already during the first season. Then we dropped down a bit, but now we are up again close to the first season level because we've been playing good. So the attraction value has been really a positive thing, and maybe even a bit unexpected one. So that's for sure the major thing for us. Second positive thing, of course.
This is second positive thing.
Second positive thing.
Second positive thing is closely related with the first positive thing, and that's the level of the game. Just the pure hockey, the level of ice hockey is extremely good. It's even better. I'm keen. I'm following ice hockey all the time. I've played all of my life and followed hockey. And I think that the best games, or even average games in KHL, are better than the average games in NHL. It's more skilled, it's more smooth, it's like flowing. Maybe because of the larger rinks, but it's more attractive, I think, in the big picture, and much better than the Finnish level of hockey ever has been. So we see the superstars here, we see the superstars, but then again we see like the regular level guys that are great sportsmen. So it's just fun to watch, and it's great hockey. These are the 2 major points, plus points for me individually or personally. I wouldn't have come to work with ice hockey in Finland if it was only Finnish hockey. I really enjoy the international flavor. I think it's really good that we are able to open the doors and be more international and nurture the relations, sports, business, political, and be able to open the doors. That's a big motivation personally for me, and that's really big issue for myself, and I really enjoy it.
Первый позитивный момент, мы смогли повысить зрительский интерес, посещаемость клуба на 20% с вступлением КХЛ. Понятно, что во второй третий сезон немного просело, но сейчас все вернулось, потому что команда выступает хорошо. Второй момент – это уровень хоккея, то, что команда играет в очень интересный хоккей, и, по моему мнению, средняя игра в КХЛ более привлекательна, чем средняя игра в НХЛ, и гораздо более привлекательная, чем, конечно, в финской лиге. И третий момент для меня самого, что я не думаю, что мог бы работать в финском хоккее, если бы не Йокерит, потому что мне интересно открывать двери, работать на каком-то международном уровне, чувствовать международный вкус.
And in conjunction with the third point, I've really loved to work with KHL, and it's been really, and also with the teams, it's been much better than we anticipated. In fact, it's been smoother and somehow easier than we were afraid of when we entered the league, because it doing the things for the first time, it's exciting, but it's also frightening in a way, and but it's been much easier than we anticipated. The things, all the arrangements during the visiting trips with the host teams are usually in good level, excellent or good, and sometimes there are some problems, but not very often compared to the complexity of the travel and the logistics, I think. And also with KHL, as far as the rules and regulations and the partnership with KHL, cooperation has been extremely smooth, much better than we anticipated, much better. The only downside with working together with KHL office is the game schedule. And it's really making us crazy that we get the game schedule. We should sell the season tickets in April, and we get the game schedule in July. So we're like out of the business in the season ticket sales already.
Ну, нам на самом деле очень нравится работать в КХЛ, и мы опасались больше, когда вступали, и нас все устраивает в плане логистики, передвижения по другим городам, все эти поездки. И, единственный момент, который нам нравится, это, конечно, календарь, потому что мы начинаем продавать абонементы в апреле, а календарь появляется в июле.
But I think that also because we are a quality team and we are proud of it, we take care. This is like a machine. This is well-functioning machine, and the Finns take pride of being pretty systematic, and we usually do the things in time, and we usually tend to plan ahead. We have a kind of a good planning culture, sometimes even too good. So it's a kind of a planning of things that you shouldn't even think about. When it comes to safety and when it comes to whatever risks you can see, then the Finns are masters of like planning also things that you shouldn't take into consideration even. But we are good in planning, and we do also, we develop the players systematically and we work systematically, and that's part of the kind of a Scandinavian culture. And I think that we've been able to also to not to teach, but also to have our impact in KHL. So we haven't only been a kind of a passive team, but I think that we've been much more on the active side. If you take all of the KHL teams together and compare the teams based on their activity towards KHL and how they work together with KHL, we are definitely in top notch. We are I think we are in top 5 at least. So we want to work closely, and we work together and try to also give our impact to the league, and not only like be passive part of the league structure.
У нас, как финнов, наверное, в плане календаря не устраивает то, что мы привыкли к системности и любим все планировать и делать в срок. И это немного нас так затягивает процессы. Как бы две черты в финнах — это то, что мы любим все планировать и делать в срок, и быть четкими. И второй момент — это то, что мы развиваем игроков, мы знаем, как это делать, и это часть вообще скандинавской культуры, взять ту же Швецию. И мы в КХЛ не хотим быть просто пассивной командой, мы хотим внести свой вклад в лигу, показать свой хоккей, то, что мы можем делать.
Здесь много выступает в Йокерите игроков сборной Финляндии. Как относится Финляндия к варианту такому, если худший сценарий, КХЛ не отпускает игроков на Олимпиаду из-за этой проблемы с допингом? Как Финляндия воспринимает вот эту историю вокруг России, которая развернулась, надоело уже всем? Как Финляндия все увидит из-за допинг истории?
The doping issues about Team Russia and the Olympics, how in Finland you everything?
Yeah, we can discuss about it. No, it's. I think it's not only my personal opinion, but I think I'm reflecting also the Finnish Hockey Association minds is that, of course, Russia should play in the Olympics, and of course, KHL should be involved, because the best available players for the Olympics are playing in KHL. So it would be not only for Finland. I think it shouldn't be like thought about from the national perspective. It should be thought about from like Olympic movement perspective. If we like not destroy, but if we worsen the spirit in the Olympics, and we don't, if we are not able to cooperate overall within the Olympic movement, I think it's really bad for the Olympics, and it's bad for ice hockey and bad for the sports altogether. So my personal opinion, and I've understood it's also like Finnish association's point and stance here is that KHL players should be available for Olympics, and we should just get over of the doping things, and we just should be wise enough to overcome the problems and not like spoil things just in the sake of spoiling. Like it's I hope we are able to solve it. But for the Finnish players and for Yokkerit players that are preparing for the Olympics, it would be so immense disappointment if they wouldn't be able to participate. And for the Russians, I guess, as well, and Czechs as well.
Мое мнение, наверное, не будет отличаться от позиции Финской ассоциации хоккея. Сборная России должна выступать на Олимпиаде, какие игроки КХЛ должны в ней участвовать. Не нужно для того, чтобы вообще делать вещи еще хуже для олимпийского движения. И игроки Йокерита будут очень разочарованы, если они не смогут поехать на Олимпиаду.
Maybe last question about Толванен. Вот 18-летний Толванен — это настолько уникальный случай, знаешь, как молодой селянин, когда появился в финском хоккее, или это система подготовки финнов, потому что в России боятся делать ставку на 18-летних, как они подходят к воспитанию 18-летних, что они так выстреливают.
So about does it is like a flash, like team селяне, or just like a part of new generation, like where you have line up, Pluyervi and other guys?
I think he could be compared with not with the Laine and Puljujärvi and the large big boys, or Selänne, who was not the one-trick pony, not leaning only on one strength, but he had the speed and he had the shot. But Eli is kind of a multi-talent. You can rely on him on defense, in mid-zone, in power play, even short-handed. So he's a strange package because he's not so speedy. And he doesn't have. He looks just normal, like 18-year-old kid. And then all of a sudden you put him on ice. Our coach said it was a good kind of description that whatever he does on the ice, he doesn't like start and stop. But he's like all the time in a constant movement, going somewhere, and the movement doesn't end, but it's like smooth, round, and like with a good vision all the time, helping the team. It's more like in the Granlund or Sebastian Aho style of players. Smallish with the frame, good balance. Smart, great skills. You can see him playing or dribbling with the puck, and he's unbelievable. He's so skilled for an 18-year-old kid. But you cannot compare him with the Laine or with the. If I would have to compare him with some of the players, Russian players, I would say that he's closer to like Datsuk than many other players. He's not so good back checker and so strong with the hands as of course Datsuk is, because he's an older guy. But
when Datsuk was at his age, he was the same, I think.
He could be. Datsuk is playing with the longer stick and he has got a bit different, but a bit similarity with the movements and the positioning on the ice and being ready for the game all the time and being like helping the team all the time. Not just flashing around and shooting, but playing the game great. 60 minutes. Yeah, sure.
Ну, или как?
Перед.
Ну, или, наверное, тяжело сравнивать с кем-то из последнего поколения молодых финских игроков. Он вроде кажется обычный 18-летний парень, но ты его пускаешь на лед, он просто всех удивляет. У него тяжело, понятно, у него есть хороший бросок, но тяжело выглядит что-то одно, потому что он такой мультизадачный игрок, который может и в меньшинстве играть, и в большинстве, и в средней зоне побороться. Если с кем-то его сравнивать, то скорее с Павлом Вацуком. Ну, понятно, что у него еще не такие руки.
В обороне, да.
Да, и в обороне еще не так хорошо отрабатывают, но что-то общее между ними есть.
Как раз вопрос. Нет сожаления, что Дацук сыграет, как раз был бы вот финский подрастающий Дацук против настоящего Дацука.
И как это отразилось на зрительском интересе? Может, там,
Is it bad that Datsuk won't play tonight?
Won't play.
Won't play. Yeah. He didn't travel with the team here.
Yeah, I heard that he's injured, unfortunately. He's a player that is really, of course, is respected everywhere, but also in Finland. I think he's a type of a player that like the Finnish hockey professionals respect the most, because he's so kind of a full package as a player, being able to play whatever game, what is needed. But when it comes to Eli also, is that he's presenting the Finnish virtues. He's humble, he has a good work ethic, he's a bit withdrawn, he's not too flashy, and he's always working. He has a kind of a grin on, not smile, but he's like, he's content, he's happy. most of the time. He's not flashy and smiling, but he's like here he's plowing the field. He was the first guy to take the plow and plowing the field yesterday during the training pass. And he's always like doing things in a good humor. So I think he's going to have a good future also in whatever team, in NHL or wherever, because he's got so like healthy head. He seems to be like full-headed. Hope he's maintaining it. It's always a risk. It's a good big nice picture from yesterday.
Очень жаль, что действительно собирает среди, наверное, всех финских профессиональных хоккеистов он самый уважаемый игрок, потому что он в таком плане игрок, в котором есть все, то есть он может делать на льду все, что угодно.
Свитера его, кстати, лучше всего продаются? Свитера Толванена лучше всего? Ну да.
И вот по поводу Толванена как раз то, что здесь фотография, где он такой спокойный парень, который получает удовольствие от всего, что делает, скромный. И он там не то, что сейчас улыбается, он как бы рад тому, где он находится, и готов делать все, что угодно. Не просто взрываться там, не взрываться.
Про свитера, спроси про свитера.
Any chance to keep him next season?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah. It's a controversy. If he would have done a bit worse, then maybe. But now he's been too good. So, and it's fun that the Nashville Predators is already expecting him so much that they start producing fan merchandise with his name. So it's.
Because the question was about merchandise, I mean jerseys with his name. Is it the most popular jersey?
The best seller?
Yeah,
Best seller, yes.
Yeah, at the moment it is.
So probably he will join them even this season?
No.
No?
Only after the playoffs. We have a deal.
I mean after.
Yeah, maybe after the playoffs, but that okay.
After we
There was a lot of speculation in Finland when he started scoring and playing good, was that the Preds is trying to get him like mid-season, and they were discussed with our general manager Jari Kurri that went through like the contracts and discussed about the details, and that's in his contract that he's going to play the playoffs also for us, and then he might be free to go. So he has a kind of a full year, full season.
Маловероятно, что Толванен будет играть за нашу команду в следующем сезоне. Если бы он играл бы чуть похуже, то шанс бы сохранить его на следующий сезон был. Его очень ждут Нэшвилл, там же начали выпускать сувенирную продукцию с его фамилией. У нас же джерси Толванена самые продаваемые в команде.
Понятно.
Just to make sure, you mentioned the plans of Chinese people to organize outdoor games. Is that Chinese Federation or Kunlun or what?
No, it was. I think it's a private hockey organization, and I don't know how far they are with their plans, but it should be like January 19 or something that they were talking about. So. A year from now. I don't know if it's how realistic it is, but I've also heard about the plans to arrange an outdoor game next season, in probably in Moscow or in St. Petersburg, because I heard about the plans of maybe like using the football stadium.
Kristovsky Stadium. Because it's a World Cup and so maybe then.
After that.
Because they're afraid because if something goes wrong because it's a new arena, it was a big story when this building like for 10-15 years, I'm not sure. So
I wouldn't recommend anybody to arrange a hockey game on an Olympic arena because the stands are so far from the rink and the puck is so small and it's so fast. You don't get an idea. You can follow. Like you can watch football from a distance, and just watch football from the distance, and you're like familiar with it. I mean, you can see the movements, and you can follow the ball. and it's slow enough to like be able to follow it. But with hockey, it's impossible. Then you have the plexiglasses, you have the dasher boards, you have the white surface, and the constant movement. It's too complicated for eye. So if I would have to, or I had a chance to recommend, it should be done with a separate special stats. And it could also be done so that, for instance, we would have loved to have also stands in the ends of the rink, but there wasn't enough space to have it like surrounded. We didn't have the space, but if there would be enough space to have it surrounded with the stands, then the capacity would be like double the one that we are having at the moment, easily, like 30,000-40,000 spectators. And I think that's enough, and that's much better to have happy hockey game goers afterwards that are paying good price for the tickets, instead of arranging it in the Olympic area and taking the money away basically, and letting people to get disappointed with what they are seeing there. It has to be arranged in a way that is suitable for the game itself and for the spectators. To respect the spectators as well, as much as possible, and not just take the money away.
Так, ну все, там еще про китайцев. Кто с ним?
Непонятно, кто представляет, да.
Да, непонятная организация, они хотят провести матч уже в январе 2019 года. Вот. По словам Юкки, слышу про то, что в следующем году матч на открытом воздухе может пройти в Москве или в Санкт-Петербурге. Но он советует, что, конечно, лучше проводить матчи не на стадионах, а на таких вот аренах, как сегодня, чтобы зрители могли увидеть игру, а не смотреть издалека и с трудом вглядываться, где шайба и так далее. И они хотели сделать не вот эту арену, не две трибуны, которые друг напротив друга, а его как круглую, и тогда вместимость могла бы составлять там, до 35 до 40 тысяч зрителей.
Точная цифра какая? Сколько потратили? Точная цифра в евро на весь
здесь
проект?
хотели, но недостаточно места в парке, чтобы ее окружить, только две трибуны.
Чтобы 4 трибуны, да.
600 тысяч, 500 тысяч, сколько точная цифра на весь проект?
Could you name the final cost of this construction?
1 point, like the costs of the total costs for arranging these two games is about 1.3 million euros. So our share is a bit larger than the local guys' share, because we are arranging it on Saturday, and for us the area is open, longer open, because the game is at 5 and we open already at 3 and keep the area open until 10 o'clock p.m. So the service costs, the safety costs are pretty high for us. Mm-hmm. And it's a kind of a Christmas party time, so you will be seeing quite a lot of drunk people there.
As usual.
It's not so usual in Finland anymore,
but because when you're in St. Petersburg and a lot of Finnish people coming for weekends, you know, just to spend time, very nice. So.
And this is a party time.
Yeah.
Before the Christmas time, it's a kind of a festivity time in Finland. The companies are taking the employees out, and usually, sometimes it means quite a lot of heavy drinking. There are alcoholic beverages also available in the area, so we hope it doesn't get out of hands.
Yeah, during the World Gym in St. Petersburg, the drunk Finnish guy, I was like live on TV, he came up to me and kissed me. Like, live on TV.
15-second celebrity.
For him!
Didn't you enjoy it?
No. I didn't know what to do.
Not really.
I just spoke hockey, that's like whatever.
Yeah. sorry for but if I knew the guy, I would, he would be this guy immediately.
Ты переводишь? Because we need to let him go.
Yeah, I have to go. But see you in the game. I hope you enjoy it. I hope nothing bad happens to you. Careful.
Это на 2 игры. Но сегодня у Йокерита будут дополнительные издержки за счет того, что это суббота, во-первых, и территория будет открыта с 3 до 10 вечера, и для охраны там придется
Все, дорогие гости, давайте пока сейчас играть.